also one of the cluster faculty in genetic engineering and society. Great to see a bunch of new faces and some familiar faces, so welcome to our colloquium. We do this every week. You're always welcome. Tuesdays at noon, we have a variety of speakers. Are there any upcoming events related to GES that people want to announce? Okay, that's fine. It makes sense. It's the end of the semester. I do want to mention that I'll be coordinating the colloquium again next semester, and I want especially all of the grad students and faculty who attend on a regular basis to really consider, what can I present here? I think we are enriched by hearing from each other as well as hearing from outside speakers. We have a lot of openings next semester. We have limited funds to bring in awesome outside people, but there's really huge benefit in us hearing from each other as well. So either approach me or look for announcements that are recruiting you to sign up for a spot next semester. And let's get moving. So Matthew Booker is going to introduce our talk today. Matthew's a great friend and affiliate and founder of GES, I'm sure. And I'm really excited that we're going to talk about Frankenstein, who's turning 200, and he looks his age there in that picture. I was glad I had a backup. If they didn't show up today, I was just going to show young Frankenstein. He's going to have a good time. Yeah, okay.
People might like that better.
Not circulate attendance around.
Not better than Helena's talk, though. So here's the plan today. The agenda is 5:25, 5:25 by my count. So I'm going to introduce Helena and give you a sense of what we're doing and why we're doing it. That's about 5 minutes. 25 minutes or so for Helena to give her presentation. Then I'll come back in and start, get us ready to discuss our reading for today and our conversation today. And then we have about 20 to 25 minutes for that discussion. So lots of discussion is the idea for today's hour. So why Frankenstein and why on December 4th? I'm kind of known for coming to realize things late, and you'll see what I mean when I finish my intro. So one day I was listening to the State of Things on WUNC, and I heard Marcia Gordon, who is one of our great colleagues here at NC State, runs the Film Studies program. And I heard John Kessel in the English department at NC State, both of them discussing Frankenstein. And I realized, belatedly, oh, this is the 200th anniversary of the publication of this extraordinarily influential book. So I thought, well, that's interesting, because so much of the conversation I've heard when interviewing people about genetic engineering in society, or when talking to some of you about genetic engineering in society, or when reading about GMOs in the popular press, so much has used the analogy or the metaphor or even the actual words of Frankenstein. So something about Frankenstein speaks deeply to scientists, and particularly to questions around genetic engineering, genetic modification. So I'm not the first one to realize that. Jason gave a terrific talk earlier this year at the Cameron Village Library and shared his notes with me from that talk, which I borrowed from today. I'm not the first person to notice this, as is always the case, but it struck me as a great possibility for us to have a conversation about in this room. Why is it that this, of all the possible literary references, I mean, this is the one that people seem to know and to use when they think about the work many of us do? And why not any of the other very popular topics? Dracula, I mean, vampires and zombies. There are lots of other great literary analogies we might use when we think about science, about life sciences, about human interventions in the world. Why is this one the one that seems to grab so many in our community? So I invited Helena Feder, who is a real literary scholar, unlike me. And she graciously agreed to join us. She and I had been talking about other things. And I knew that she was someone who had thought about Frankenstein and actually about the human relationship with the natural world and about science. So Helena, who I'm now going to introduce, will give us a presentation. She's actually going to talk to us a bit about Frankenstein. She's Associate Professor of Literature and the Environment at East Carolina University, where she's been since 2006. She's the director of the Great Books program, which means that it's amazing we got her to step away. Also, by my count, you've taught at least 19 separate courses. 24 separate courses at ECU in those years. That's a lot of preps without course releases for your administrative work. So that's astonishing. Disturbing.
Disturbing.
Yeah. And so clearly she loves what she does and is willing to put in the time for it. She's someone who has worked on 20th century transatlantic literature.